Okay, I'm shrieking because I'm so excited to be here. You're listening to Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Siegel Network. I can't even talk. I am so excited to be back in the seat right now. It has been since like early June, right, DK, that we have done a show. It was a very long summer hiatus, and I'm like thrilled to be here on this most magnificent day today. For those of you who don't know me, you're tuning in for the very first time. I'm Naomi Nachman. I'm about all the food all the time. I love food. I love shopping for it, cooking it, eating at restaurants, anything food related. I'm a kosher personal chef. My business is called the Aussie Gourmet. And anytime you don't feel like cooking, you can give me a call. I have two cookbooks. I really can't talk to it because I'm like, my brain is going so fast. My mouth can't keep up. I have two cookbooks, Perfect for Pesach, and my new book, Perfect Flavors. I hope you'll tune in every week and hear about my exciting adventures, and I'm going to share about my summer adventures with you in a couple of minutes. I want to hear about your food experiences too, so email me, naomi@nachumsiegel.com. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can join my newsletter as well on my website. Okay, so here we are, back in the seat. It's really been a long time. I really missed you guys, and I love so many people reach out to me over the summer on all different platforms saying how much they miss the show or how much they love the show, and it really like warms my heart. I put so much effort into it. I cannot believe it's season 8. I just want to thank Nachum Siegel for giving me this incredible opportunity, Miriam Wallach for everything that you've done for me, for finding me and giving me my show. I don't even know how many shows we've done at this point. It's over 200, we know that. Yoni Pollock, it's amazing working with you. You're an amazing team. And of course, ZK, the only person on planet Earth who actually has to sit and listen to me. Not my husband, not my kids, but this guy's going to make it sit every week with me, and we do our shows together. I've got so much to share with you. I had an incredible summer. My daughter made Aliyah. I went to Israel with her and to get them settled in. I actually arrived the day before, so when they came through off the plane through immigration, I held up a big sign saying welcome home. And I thought that would be very special coming from the mother, because the mother's going to be living in Chutz La'aretz, and I recognize that Israel really is home. I was in Baltimore, Israel, Camp Dina, Camp Hass, Camp Anos, Camp Shoshanim. It was just an incredible summer, as well as visiting Baltimore. Great friends in Baltimore. Shout out to the Goldsteins and an incredible group of friends we have down there. And an amazing trip to Deal. Deal is fantastic. Spent Shabbat with Beth Warren. She gave me the complete food tour of Deal. Loved every minute. And I saw Suzanne from Kitchen Caboodles there. It's great. Next week coming up, I just want to let everyone know I will be in Miami Beach doing 3 events for the Jewish Book Council. So I hope Adina Sussman, who's sitting next to me, we're going to be talking to her in a few minutes, will get on the Jewish Book Council tour. That is incredible. Okay, amazing. This year. Okay.
Yeah, you presented a day before me, I think.
Oh, we missed each other.
And
but
that
was very funny.
Sounds like it worked out well for both of us.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm like super excited about going down to Florida.
Good.
The storm has passed, so like
yes.
And then the following, I'll be in Toronto doing an event, a cooking demo for Yachad. So if you're in Toronto and you're listening, if you know someone in Toronto, let them know. It is a great cause.
When is that?
The Monday the 16th of September.
Great.
I don't even know what day of the week it is. I'm so jet lagged. I just want to, while I have a moment before I start talking to Adina, and then I've got some other big news after Adina leaves. Adina will actually be my great segue into my big news. But I just want to thank Miriam Schreiber from Kosher Legacy Tours, who I went with her to Japan and Korea. I'm still got jet lag. It's 2 weeks later. It's completely hafuch. Day is night and night is day. We're 12 hours ahead. Miriam, thank you for taking me on your tours and letting me show my creative side of my Asian cooking on the tour. We made some incredible, delicious food. I learned a lot about Japanese cuisine and real authentic Japanese cuisine, working with some of the chefs there. Jeremy Goldfeder led the culinary team, which I got to be a part of, and it was just unreal. And Miriam, thank you for an incredible summer. If you're interested in joining Miriam's tours, you can email me, naomi@nachumsiegel.com, and I'll share that with Miriam. So there you go. That was my summer in like 3 minutes. I can't see the clock, maybe 5 minutes. Whatever. I keep a clock going so I can keep track of time because, it goes fast. Okay, in the hot seat next to me is, we actually said this on Instagram this morning, so I have to remember that we didn't say it on the air. Adina Sussman is next to me. Just a very quick Adina and I went to Mahongol together. I don't even want to say
5 years ago?
Yeah, I wish. Many, many years ago.
Yes.
And it's just great. We reconnected through food
Yes.
a couple years ago.
Uh-huh.
And it's amazing how food brings everybody together. I'm sure the guys
Totally.
at Wall Street Grill are joining us, know that food brings everyone together. Adina has ghostwritten many cookbooks. She's been a guest on our show before. And now she has, is this the first of your very...
It's my first major cookbook release. Yeah, I wrote a small book about Trina that came out a few years ago.
which you brought to the studio.
But this is a Random House release, and it's a kosher book, which was really important to me, and I'm super excited about it.
Okay, Adina, tell us a little bit about your background.
So I grew up in Palo Alto, California, and in an amazing food-loving home. And I've been working in the food industry for about 20 years. I worked at Gourmet Magazine, then I went to culinary school, and then for about the last 15 years, I've been working as a recipe developer for behind the scenes for famous chefs, and then writing a lot of food articles in my own name and travel, and writing a lot about Israeli food and wine.
Yeah, you've been featured in like major magazines, Food and Wine
Food and
last year.
Wine, Wall
Front
Street
cover.
Journal, Condé Nast Traveler, Epicurious, all those. And I started writing cookbooks about 10 years ago. I co-author cookbooks with celebrity chefs. And about 5 years ago, I started working with Chrissy Teigen, and we had 2 New York Times bestsellers together.
Oh, yeah.
And I still work with her as a culinary consultant. And she shouted me out on Twitter last night about my book, which was amazing.
I love it.
And about 2.5 years ago, I wrote a book proposal for an Israeli cookbook because I had met a handsome gentleman in Tel Aviv who I eventually married.
Woohoo.
And I sold my book, and I wanted to write a book about my view of Israeli cuisine through the eyes of an American living in Tel Aviv in the Shuka Carmel area. So it's a very personal book, all about how I like to cook, how I like to use all of the staples of the Israeli kitchen in a slightly different way, very home cook focused. A lot of the Israeli cookbooks that have come out have been from the perspective of a restaurant chef.
Yeah, I have found some of them are fabulous, but
They're amazing. And I'm a home cook.
Yeah.
I cook for home cooks. Not all my recipes are dead simple, but they're all doable, and they all use readily available ingredients. And I think the book just has a real flavor of me and my life, and that was what I was hoping to convey to people. So
You definitely did. You know, I've read the front.
thank you.
When I get a book, I have a ritual. I go through, I skip the intro.
Yeah.
I want to see the actual recipe.
Right. It's
Get
like
me-
flipping through a culinary magazine. You go
Yeah.
through and you want to see, ooh, I want to make that. I want to make that.
I want to see every picture. I want to see the font. You know, after
Yeah.
doing a book, like you want to see
Oh, yeah.
what you went through. I want to touch the paper.
Oh, you know what it's like. You've done 2 amazing books.
So thank you. So I wanted to see your vision quick, like without having to go through all the detail, like the visual vision.
Yes, which is
to
so
speak.
important in a
It's
cookbook.
very important. It's not the
all
old
about
days
it.
with Julia Child. By the way, I'm rewatching Julie and Julia. Julie and Julia. I started it last night with my
Yeah.
jet lag.
I mean, these days you kind of have to have a photo for every recipe.
It is, or else people literally they put it down.
Yeah,
they don't want it.
So I took the visual part of the book very seriously,
Yeah, and
as
it
I hope
shows.
you noticed.
And how did you choose your photographer? Because there are so many talented people out there.
There are, and I've worked with so many amazing people because in the United States, some of the top people because of the books that I've co-authored. But I decided I wanted to work with an Israeli photography team because even though I live in Israel and I feel immersed in the culture, I'm still an outsider, and I wanted to have a team of people who would bring a local perspective, even in the props. Like my prop stylist, Nurit, like she had plates at home that she brought. You know, my photographer, Don Peretz, is like the top food photographer in Israel, so he knows everyone. So if we needed something, everything could be taken care of. And sometimes they would be like, I liked it because they would be like, really? You're putting trina in caramel? That's crazy. Like, no one's going to eat it. And then, like, they ended up eating all the food. And
Licking
it
it.
was amazing way to see how my American view of Israeli food, like, landed on actual Israelis. And it was really gratifying to see the response. And it just was an amazing experience. So,
as eloquent as Adina speaks, she writes amazing. And the
Wow.
intros in the book, I feel like I'm there and you're holding my hand while I'm reading the book.
thank you.
It was a beautiful tour. And you gave a little bit about the history of Shuk HaCarmel.
Yeah.
People love going to Israel, and right away they want a Shuk tour. You know?
Immediately.
I spoke to Adina, like I said, next time I come to Israel, I want to show
Yeah,
you.
and
Like,
we got to see each other this summer in Israel. I got to celebrate your book launch in Jerusalem. That was so nice.
I did like a cute little.
It was so nice.
I just want to do something for my book. You know, you're always trying to push your book, so I did something at Hatch
and
Beer.
people want to meet you and see you and say
was
hi.
very
So
cute.
yeah, it was wonderful.
Big shout out to Hatch Beer. I love you
Yes,
guys.
we love Hatch.
I think every time you and I go, we meet at Hatch
Yes,
Beer,
yes.
have a few beers, have some wings,
amazing.
and then last time we went over to the Ishtabach.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
we went
Another
to Ishtabach.
favorite.
Another favorite. So
Yeah.
we definitely see it's all about the
Right.
shuk.
So most of, I think, your contemporaries are more focused on Jerusalem, which makes sense. But because I live in Tel Aviv, it's been fun for me to host some of the kosher bloggers and influencers in Tel Aviv and show them a little bit about what it's like in the other city.
Right, I love
you
I
know?
love that you had Danielle Renov of
Danielle,
Peace Love of Carrots. Shout out
yes.
to you, Danielle. Like, I watch that whole thing. Like, sometimes I watch people's stories in fast forward,
Yeah.
you know, like, because it's a
Yeah.
lot, right? And I want to watch my friends.
Right.
But I watched that, like, I was just in love with
Yes,
that.
and I also met Sarah Lazary in Israel and a lot of different, and Khani,
Yeah.
you know, people have, because of my life in Israel, I've connected with a lot of people virtually and then gotten a chance to meet them in Israel, which was amazing.
And you had dinner with Khani Applebaum
I had dinner with
at
Khani
O2.
at
At
O2,
O2 at
and
Imbal.
you came at the end, but I missed you apparently.
Yeah,
But yes.
yeah.
So it's been really fun for me. My culinary career has been sort of forged in the non-kosher world, but I have a kosher background, and like reconnecting with this community and like being embraced by all of you and also just supporting you guys has been so amazing for me.
We love it. We love it.
It's great.
It's just incredible. Okay, let's talk about some of the recipes.
Yeah.
Okay, I have questions for you.
Okay.
All right. See, I know what to ask because people are.
Yeah.
What was the recipe that surprised you the most?
It's a really good question. So I would say shockingly, the hardest recipe in the book was lachuch, which is
Okay.
it's sort of like looks like a pancake mixed with an English muffin or a crumpet.
Yeah. How do you
And
describe lachuch?
It's like it's a good example of how I perceive food. In Israel, it's a savory, pancakey like bread that Yemenites use to like mop up soup or with a stew. But really, it's like a yeast risen pancake batter. And so I serve it with maple syrup and butter.
Right.
And I thought, it's going to be such a snap to make, getting that fermentation and those holes going. But I literally made it 100 times, maybe more, because I wasn't getting, an Israeli will give you a recipe, but of course they'll leave out the one secret little ingredient or the little hack that's going to make it work perfectly. And finally, I discovered that putting a little bit of ground fenugreek in it actually, fenugreek has a gelatinous quality. So when it rises the dough, it keeps the dough kind of risen and cooking and allows air to kind of push through it.
That is very cool.
So there's just a lot of little things like that. So that's a good example of something that surprised me that I probably wouldn't have learned if I wasn't living like 30 seconds from the shuk.
Right.
And there's a woman, Irit, who makes lachuch right next to my house. And, so that was surprising to me.
What recipe was like a shoo-in? Like when you got the book contract, I'm including this recipe.
Probably my Trina blondies, which seem to be going like a little bit viral. I love blondies, and I wrote a Trina cookbook, and I was like, how can I come up with more interesting ideas? I did everything with the other book, but I made these incredible sort of brownie-like cookies. One bowl, super simple, with cardamom and 2 kinds of toasted sesame seeds, and just it's like the kind of thing I like. It's my mom's cooking style. Zichrona Lebracha was like simple and delicious. We were like a Duncan Hines mixed family because we grew up in Palo Alto, California, where you couldn't get any baked goods kosher, and we kept a kosher home, so we made everything. And sometimes in a pinch, she would just make the brownies for us. And I wanted that chewy, fudgy deliciousness, but obviously I don't use mixes that often. And this was sort of evocative of that recipe. Has like a caramely flavor, and it's just like I nailed those, and that has like really got me really excited about the direction of the book.
Okay, it's really wow. Like I'm salivating while I'm talking to her. Okay, all right. I was going to ask you the most tested recipe, but we.
Oh yeah, I mean, other
that.
surprising. Like I made a beef stew.
Yeah.
And I love medjool dates.
Yeah, it's Rosh Hashanah, baby.
So I threw a bunch of whole dates into the beef stew. And they absorbed all of the amazing juices from the stew and almost became like their own kind of like meat. Like they absorbed.
So that was a good surprise.
Yeah, like I kind of was like, maybe this would work, and it's like a really savory, rich stew with all kinds of root vegetables and meat and
so
stew meat.
Perfect for now.
Oh yeah, it's like a perfect
What page I don't know any page numbers of my own books.
It's a great recipe, and there are a lot of Rosh Hashanah friendly recipes. There's also these amazing sour lime and pomegranate chicken wings, which you cure the wings in either fresh lime and lime zest or powdered Persian lime.
Oh, yeah.
And then you mix it with turmeric and cumin and all these spices, and then you bake them on a sheet and brush them with pomegranate molasses afterwards. So like, you see how I kind of like to mix things up.
Yeah, you definitely have.
And there are a lot of salads, and
I'm holding the book up to the camera.
A lot of soups, and I want things to be people to open their eyes and be interested, but not be intimidated.
Right, right. And I there is a lot of Israeli cookbooks, as you said, and I love them
and
all.
We all
and
love
the photography is beautiful, and I've gotten so much inspiration from some of them for myself, but like.
Right.
A little bit much even for me. And I think I'm a pretty okay cook. Yeah. But I'm like, what?
Right. And it's really nice these days because I do provide recipes for how to make your own zchug and harissa and amba. But as you know, those things are pretty available if you are shopping in a kosher market.
Right.
So I have amazing, I love Israeli breakfast, and there's a sandwich. They have these mini sandwiches in all the cafes, you always want half a sandwich in America, and you can never get one, a good one. So they're always on the best bread, and they have these fresh fillings. So I did a tuna mixed with preserved lemons and chopped dates and toasted almonds. And then I did an egg salad with amba mayo. And it just works perfectly. You just stir the amba and mayo and you make it, and it just changes the egg salad, and it totally works.
Tell everyone what amba is. I know what it is. The first time I had it was at Shukar Carmel. I had a falafel when I was on Birthright a couple of years ago. It was amazing. I came home and I literally bought 4 jars.
Yeah, so
I always have it in my fridge.
It's like a savory mango pickle that has roots in India. And actually there was a large Iraqi Jewish community that lived in India for a while. They call themselves the Baghdadiim.
Yeah.
And they brought it back to Iraq. And then when they immigrated to Israel, they brought it with them. And a lot of them were involved in opening of falafel shops and shawarma joints. And this condiment, which is there's a lot of talk about fermentation now in cooking, and that funky flavor. And this is the original funky fermented condiment, and it's so good. It's delicious. And it's bright yellow because it has turmeric and mango in it, and it also has this fenugreek. It's kind of the secret.
Fenugreek?
Well, it has a slippery quality.
Yeah.
So that's what gives it the slick sheen. It's that the fenugreek makes it shiny and beautiful. So, and it gives it a special flavor. And fenugreek is very Indian.
Very. Right.
So that's...
I have not played with fenugreek so much, and I've been to India, and I've done a lot of Indian cooking, and I've just kind of avoided it.
There's khilba, which is another traditional...
Which I happen to like khilba.
I love khilba. I have an amazing khilba recipe in my book it's whipped, it looks like a Dr. Seuss, green whipped cream or something. It's super fluffy and incredible, and you serve it with kubana bread, and it has zchug in it. But the fenugreek has this whipped creamy quality to it. And I learned how to make it from Yemenite women a long time ago when I was writing an article for Gourmet. So all this experience of my whole life is come together. My mom, my upbringing, my time in Israel, my career, it's all kind of all right there on the page.
And you know what? I love the first page. This teed me up. Wait, hold on.
Oh.
For Jay.
Yes.
That was really nice.
People were like, wow, the whole book to your husband. And, the truth is,
it's really nice.
I had always visited Israel a lot and written about food, but this book would not have happened if I had not married my husband 2 years ago and moved to Israel. So I do give him all the credit because he deserves it, and he's amazing.
Yeah. For what we've seen, I haven't met him all these trips.
I know.
One of these days I'll come down to Tel Aviv and we'll get it done. But you know what I love in the back of the book? That you actually took, I've never seen this in a cookbook.
Yeah.
You took pictures of the people that helped you. I'm all about networking.
I just I felt like
and,
all these...
And helping.
Right. So I cooked, there are about 130 recipes in the book, and about 110 of them are purely mine. And then I've made a lot of great friends in the Israeli food industry, and people offered to cook with me, or I invited people to share recipes. And, a recipe is a monograph of your life, and to not give them the credit. Also, there are Arab cooks in the book, and I thought it was really important they be represented. So I wanted people to see the faces of
I love that.
the people who contributed.
I thought that was amazing, and it was clever, and nobody's done that before.
And because, it wasn't a travel book where you're going around the country cooking with people in their homes, so I couldn't do all those pictures of people in their kitchens.
Right.
So my photographer came up with this great idea to do these portraits in studio. So we had one studio day, and everyone just kind of came in. It was like a little party. It was really fun.
I love that. And they got to celebrate you in the book. So it was amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
You turned the book in a long time ago.
Oh my gosh. So the the Art Scroll publishing model is a little different than the conventional model.
I turned my book in. Okay, I'll tell you when it was. Motzei Simchat Torah.
Yeah.
My book had to be, my last week had to go in the next day after.
Right.
And of Simchat Torah. And I was actually on a plane to Israel.
Yeah.
So any last minute, and I went from the airport to a wedding. I was at the wedding. I'm doing final edits and final tweaks. Like, put a period here, capitalize that, take out that word from a wedding. I'm like, have copies of my book, sweating at this. And then I was done, and I had 4 weeks.
Right. So you had 4 weeks.
To breathe a sigh of relief till the book.
Right. So I had like 6 months. So imagine just sitting on pins and needles waiting for So the book, your book was probably printed domestically. Mine was printed.
Canada, I think.
So mine was printed in Europe and came over on a boat, because it's more cost effective. And there's the publishing process in the mainstream publishing world is longer. Art Scroll is a great company because it's nimble. Like things happen quickly and they can act on a trend or someone who's popular, something going on. And in the conventional publishing world, things take a lot longer. Right. There are a lot more steps and there's a whole sales process and marketing and different things. But it was an experience I was familiar with because of all the books I co-wrote. But I've actually never had to promote a cookbook like this because, Chrissy Teigen promotes her own book. Like she doesn't need me.
Right.
So it's a different experience
for
me.
It's a different world. It's a different world, but it's fabulous. I know that you have to run.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm excited to be one of your first interviews.
I'm honored.
Amazing.
And thank you.
Wait, so you're not leaving till you sign the book?
I would love it.
Okay. And do we have a photo of us? We can do an on-air photo. Okay, there you go. I'm getting my book signed. Wait. We've got to do this on camera. Okay, we can be on air and on camera at the same time. Okay. All right. It's recording. What I'm going to say. Okay. Adina is signing my book, and I'm videoing it while we are on air from Macon to Manhattan. I love it. Fantastic. Okay, this is really, and it's so exciting to have you here and to have your beautiful book.
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure.
And I'm jealous I can't stay and hear about this amazing restaurant.
You'll go there, you'll talk to the guys, and
I am I'm a slave to the ribeye steak, so I will definitely be making it there eventually. Okay.
All right, nice to see you.
Bye. Thank you. Nice to meet you guys.
All right, bye, Adina. Adina Sussman in the house. Wow. Adina is running around her book. We are listening to this on you are listening to this on Friday morning, Erev Shabbos, the beginning of season 8. But right now it's Wednesday morning. Beautiful Wednesday morning. I have just come from the farmer's market, by the way. Adina has to run because she, when your book comes out, you're running like a crazy person. Remember that when I was like, didn't know which way my head is on, but I kind of feel like I have that now. Okay, so the big news, that I wanted to share with everybody, and thanks for sticking around for this. Okay, my big news is this December, I'm going to be running another birthright trip to Israel, but the topic of the trip is called food and culture. So I'm really excited. So we're calling it the food and culture with Israel Free Spirit Birthright. Okay, so you guys, if you are interested in signing up, you can join the trip. Okay, I'm going to just read you some of what it includes, okay? It's to sign up, you go to israelfreespirit.com/Naomi. The foodie culture trip dates are December 23rd to January 3rd. It's quite a bit over Hanukkah. You have to be between the ages of 19 and 25, okay? I'm just trying to think of anything else. And you have to, not everybody who applies is qualified, and not everyone who's qualified can make it onto the trip. But if you do want to come with me on a free trip to Israel to see Israel food and culture, you have to sign up today, okay? Those who sign up today will be eligible to win a free book. I'll put you in a raffle to get my cookbook. Okay, we're running the promotion from today, which is, well, I guess when you're hearing it, September 6th. And it's going to end at September 20th at 12 p.m. Okay, so when you apply, all you have to do is, as we said, israelfreespirit.com/Naomi. And you can apply to be on this amazing, amazing birthright trip that we have coming up. So I can't wait to share that with you. This is the first time I've told anyone outside of my own family, so I'm super excited. And I feel like that was a good segue in from having Adina who lives in Israel, and she will hopefully meet up with our trip also. So thanks, guys, and I hope that we get a really good turnout for our trip. We're going to only take like 30 or 40 people, and you have to remember you have to be between those ages. So if you know anyone. If you can't have been to Israel on an organized trip, I just want to throw that in there. If you've been to Semini, you're not eligible. You've been with your family, you are eligible. You've been on NCSY program, you're eligible. If you've been anytime in high school, you're eligible. But you can't have been on an organized trip after high school. Okay, I think we got that out of the way. Whew, that's a lot. Hey, ZK, we're still good? We're still good. I'm so excited because one of the incredible summer experiences I had, you never know who leads to who and what leads to what. I was sitting on a plane next to, no, I wasn't next to Stephen. I was next to his friends, one of his friends. I just don't want it. I'm going to keep that private. And he told me that he's friends with Shalom, and Shalom is with you guys, with the restaurant. And I'm like, oh, and his wife knew who I was. We're all on the plane together. And I'm going to Israel to my daughter's making Aliyah. And he said, oh, I'm with Wall Street Grill. And I'm like, oh, I want to go there. And he goes, I'll take care of you. 1 minute later, we're on the plane in the air, okay? Because, you do Wi-Fi. I get a text from Shalom. Hi, I'm from Wall Street Grill. We'd like to have you for a meal. And from 30,000 feet up in the air. So it's amazing how that all works. And then I got to meet Stephen and Joey, and we are here in the studio. They invited me to come down. We went down in August, right before the 9 days. Everything's a blur in my head. And we sat outside on the gorgeous deck balcony that they have. This fall season hopefully will be beautiful for us to sit outside. And they invited my family to come for dinner, and we were treated like royalty. It was so nice, and the food was amazing. I'm not just saying every dish was incredible. It was. It really was. There was nothing we didn't like. And I said, you guys, I have a lot of restaurants on the show during the year, and I had to have first show, new season. The highlight of the year is always the first show of the year, right, ZK? We like our first show. So welcome, Joey and Stephen, to the studio. How's it going, guys?
It's going very well.
Have you done radio before?
I have. First time.
First time. Okay, well, welcome. This is the Nachum Siegel Network. Nachum has been on the air for how many years? 35, 36, 37, I don't know. We've lost count a lot, more than 30. So we're very happy to have you. Okay, so guys, who wants to go first? Who am I going to grill first?
I want to start off. I'm a very big fan. My wife is very, very into cooking. She has 2 Anova sous vides that run at the same time for the last 10 years. And your cookbook, the way my wife likes to go through recipes, is that I'll go through the recipe book and I mark with napkins, which ones I want her to try. And she mentioned that yours was one of the most napkin ones she's ever had.
Oh, wow, thank you.
And some of the recipes that I really enjoyed were the beer battered broccoli, which my kids love.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
And the Aussie meat pie.
The Aussie meat pie.
Yes.
They taste very authentic.
Yes, I know.
Okay, thanks. It's
different than the standard, like shepherd's pie.
Right, it's not like a meat barretta. It's not like a shepherd's pie. It's got its own flavor and texture. Right. Okay, cool. You made my day. Thank you. She's got to get sababa. This is really something. Adina's book. Okay, cool. Very nice. Thanks. Okay, so Stephen, how long have you been in the restaurant business?
It's probably, I think it's 18 or 19 years.
That's a long time.
Yes.
What restaurants have you been involved with?
So I opened and ran all the Prime Grill restaurants in the Prime Grill Hospitality Group.
Sure, we love that.
And then I helped out with a couple of different restaurants afterwards, and and then I moved on to working on this project.
Okay.
Right.
Beautiful. Okay. Now this was a bit of a project. This was quite a story. The concept from this came a little while ago, right?
The concept came a long time ago. One of the biggest issues was that it wasn't a restaurant before. When you take over an existing restaurant, it's much easier in terms of all the different government agencies involved, fire department, hoods, sprinklers, fire alarm. Here we were taking a space that was a preschool on the ground floor, and the rooftop, there was nothing there. It was just grass and trees.
Wow, for the kids to play in.
Yeah, for the kids to play in.
By the way, the rooftop has a tree going through it. They built the rooftop around the tree. It's very cool. I don't know if anyone had seen my Instagram story, but it was very impressive, very cute.
So there's a lot of work and filings and construction and different things that were going on because we put in an elevator, we put in 2 new stairs, we had to build a kitchen from scratch, we had to lay out the space from scratch. Usually you're taking over an existing restaurant space and the flow is already set and you just have to do decor or make some changes, change some kitchen equipment. We had to figure out how we could make this kitchen from an open room and make it work. How we can make, dining rooms work and the flow.
It's nice to hear this from a different perspective because we never really addressed that on this show before, or really people really don't talk about is actually setting up a restaurant.
Right. Usually people are taking over an existing space, which is much easier.
Right.
To have to actually sit down and say, this is how much square feet I'm going to give to a kitchen.
Wasn't it fun though? Let's put fun in quotes. I'm sure there's a lot of agmas nefesh and aggravation. But you got to have a vision. Were you on board from the beginning, Joey?
How long was it? About
Joey
2.5
was
years.
on board for a long time.
Okay, Joseph Polino, executive chef at Wall Street Grill. So you were on pretty much from the beginning?
Pretty much about 2.5 years before our opening date.
So did you have a vision of how you wanted your kitchen? Like if someone said to me, build a kitchen, I would not build my kitchen like I had a kitchen in my house now. I would start from scratch and, do anything I wanted. Did you have that?
It's pretty much when I first met Steven, he showed me the plans of the kitchen, and I said, okay. It's funny. He had everything spaced out perfectly. Where I would have specific things, it was already there. So it's nice to work with somebody that has the same vision in the kitchen.
Have you learned from mistakes of other restaurants designing stuff? Like, did you know exactly, I must have this and I must have that and it's got to be here and that, something else must be there?
Yeah, of course you learn. You try and use all the different kitchens that I've worked on, to try and say, oh, this is a cute idea. This is something we could do. And obviously we can make our own mistakes as well.
Right, I'm sure.
But it was most of the time when you design a kitchen, you're always taking ideas that you saw didn't work in the past. So we tried to make it like a setup where it would be really as efficient because, it's Manhattan. So I can't, make a 3,000 square foot kitchen. So I have to be as efficient as possible and in as tight a space as possible because I wanted to maximize my dining rooms.
Right. To me, the kitchen looked pretty decent size.
Yes.
Because I've been to some Manhattan kitchens that are tiny, that knock out quite a lot of meals per evening. But, okay. So what was your vision for the food? Who had the vision for the food?
Well...
How did you guys come together to have this vision? Lots to talk about.
When I first met Steven, during the interview, we started talking about food, and we were both engaged in the conversation of food. And when I did the tasting, I tried to be different than what they were expecting from other tastings. And they said, have fun with the menu. Be different than everybody else. Try to be different. And whatever you've cooked in non-kosher restaurants, and that's one of your best things, turn that into kosher. And that's what I did with the menu.
Okay,
shows.
Shows.
That's one of the main reasons why we wanted a chef that hadn't really worked in kosher before.
Right, so you could bring your own vision from what you've done into the how can I make this? What was your biggest challenge then? Don't say milchiks and fleischiks. Milchiks and fleischiks.
No cheese.
No cheese.
No cheese. That's
what would
biggest, be the biggest?
No cheese, no butter.
That's okay.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Because I always see them based on TV, the steak and the butter after they...
My wife has Smart Balance in our refrigerator at home, and it's been in the refrigerator for 5 years. Every time we go to the supermarket, that's what I've been accustomed to using, and I use it.
You think that's the same kind of thing?
Yes and no, but you learn how to work with it.
Okay, so what are you using? How are you getting around cheese?
How am I getting around cheese? Special secret.
He can't tell us. We have to go to the restaurant and eat the food. Okay, because I would imagine that would be quite challenging.
At first, yes. When I did the tasting, before I went to go do the tasting, I practiced at my house, and I said, well, if I toast this the right way like this and emulsify certain things like this, it'll work. And I worked on it, did it once, did it twice, and it held every single time so that I knew if I could do it on a home stove, I could do it in the kitchen.
Okay, that's amazing. Okay. What is a signature dish that you've got there that no one's seen before?
Nobody's seen before.
In kosher. Because we've got a lot of restaurants around, right? Like it's New York. It's how many Jews are here? 500,000? A million? I don't know. I'm probably not a million, but right? Like, what is something unique and different about?
I honestly think our tuna ribbons dish that we composed.
Yeah.
It's a really great item.
When I posted that, people went nuts.
The aromatic emulsion that we make, I don't think there's a sauce out there that's like that right now.
And you have some, by the way, let's talk about the alcohol for a second. The drinks are outstanding. We ordered some sort of drink that had a piece of meat clipped to the side. That was like nuts.
Yeah, that was the beef and bourbon.
Oh, yeah. The bourbon was a bit strong for me, but the beef was amazing. I wanted to take just a handful of that because it was by the bar on the way out. And I'm like, I joked. I went like this to the bartender. He's like, go right ahead. I'm like, joking. Okay. Let's talk about that rooftop outside. Can we eat there in the winter?
So
are we going to enclose that?
we're
Because
working-
I love that.
We're working on some type of sort of like a heating system or like a fire pit, but we wouldn't enclose it. First of all, the tree is an issue.
Yeah,
and-
that tree.
And it's understood that certain areas are seasonal. Every
right?
restaurant.
Are we going to sukkahs?
Yes, we're gonna have.
Yes, guys. If you want to make a reservation for sukkahs, make it now.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have the largest kosher sukkah of any restaurant, definitely in Manhattan.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Because it's a great time of the year. It could be a little bit chilly, but I think in the sukkah it'll be perfect weather actually. Yeah. As long as it doesn't rain on us. Well, if it rains, you should put a scaffolding or something so you can.
If it rains, they're gonna eat inside. So it's
right, but that way you can have more people.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. All right. So tell us a little bit more about the food.
Oh, well, making the menu was not challenging, but to sit there and write an entire menu, I took some time off of work.
Yeah.
From the job I had.
Okay, you're already working.
I was already working when I was hired, and I gave notice, and I gave myself like 2 months to relax at home, and I was doing research, and I just kept writing menus and writing menus and writing menus, and I didn't like the direction that everything was going, so I decided to go out on a fishing boat with my father-in-law.
I love that. That's
And
amazing.
I started talking to a gentleman named Freddie on the boat, and he's a big foodie, and we just started talking, and ideas just started flowing. So I stopped fishing. I just started writing everything in my phone.
Right, I do that
And
too.
as the ideas just started flowing, I just kept going, and my father was like, "You're not fishing?" I said, "No, I'm writing
You've got
I'm writing my
inspiration.
menu." And over the time, from the time I was hired until we opened, I must have changed the menu 100 times.
Right.
And I still went back to the original menu I wrote when I was on the boat that day.
Right, there you go. You never know where you're going to find your inspiration. I've been driving somewhere and an idea will pop in. I'll pull over, I'll take up my phone, I'll write some notes down.
My wife hates me. My wife hates me. In the middle of the night, I wake up, I'll go get a bottle of water, and she'll find a post-it on the refrigerator or on the mirror
Yeah, it's
of an
great.
idea.
It's
and
great.
She's like, "Oh, by the way, here's 10 post-its for you."
You need that. Like, you got to harness those moments because then you'd be like, oh my God, where was I that I had this great idea? You have to, figure out what
Because sometimes you have it, and then you turn around and you get distracted and like,
It's gone. Done. What was
did
that?
I just
What
what did
was
I
that?
just think of? Yes.
Okay, amazing. All right. Anything next lined up for the restaurant? Second location? No way, right?
Right now, we're just
because
working
everybody
on
wants. I feel like everybody wants something in Brooklyn, but really, you are a destination restaurant. People are coming to you from everywhere.
and we're only 20 minutes, 25 minutes from Brooklyn, so it's not
Right. Okay. I just a few restaurants have done they tried second restaurants, but okay. Okay. I want to talk about a giveaway because we spoke about maybe doing a giveaway for our. All right. So what do we want to do? We want to do a gift certificate, dinner for two.
Dinner for two works.
I think that's fun, right, guys? All right. If you want to be in our giveaway, a dinner for two to Wall Street Grill, you have to follow them on Insta. Okay, it's nothing to negotiate. You have to be on Instagram and follow them. But we do have a little clause in that. Everything has got a clause. A lot of people don't do Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, you have to follow them. If you're not on Instagram, because I'm going to get a million emails. I'm not on Instagram. Okay, so you email me, Naomi@nachumsiegel.com, and I will put that in. But I'm going to check to see if you're on. You have to follow Wall Street Grill, Nachum Siegel Network, okay? And then, and if you don't do Instagram, you'll just email me and I'll add you to that tally. I take tallies of everything that we do, when we do the giveaways, and then I'll pull one out of the hat, and then we'll announce the winner in a couple of weeks. Okay, has it been a lot of fun doing this? Do you find it exhausting? Like, walk me through a day.
It's a long
He's
day.
tired already.
It's a long day.
What? It's only the morning. I've already been to the farmer's market this morning.
The day hasn't started yet. This is just waking up right now.
I'm waking him up. Sorry.
Basically, you get into the kitchen about 9:30, 10 o'clock, set everything up for lunch, be Board of Health ready.
Wait. Lunch. They're open for lunch. Because not a lot of restaurants are open for lunch. Do you find that?
It depends. I mean, we have a beautiful area on the roof, so it's
and
really
you also
nice
probably
place.
do business lunches,
Right?
Because you're right in Wall Street, of course. Right. Okay.
So as we are cooking for our lunch guests, we begin the prep for dinner service, and by 4:30 we're set up for dinner, and then we cook for our guests, and it's a long night. It's a long night sometimes.
Have you ever run out of food? Or one thing, like one that you underestimate, like all of a sudden, like one night, everyone's ordering the same thing, and you're like, oh my gosh, I've run out.
It happens on an occasion. We tend to keep specific par levels of specific items. And some nights you sell a ton of it, and it happens. Okay. I'd rather keep the items fresh instead of over-ordering and it sits in a walk-in, and then the customer's not getting the product 100%.
A good restaurant will have to 86 certain items because you don't want to have...
What did you say?
86.
What does that mean?
It's the restaurant lingo for an item that you no longer have.
Oh, why 86?
I think it was a code based on some old menu that happened like 100 years ago. But you use it in anything. Like you could say like John is 86. Meaning he's not going to work for us anymore. Like, use it for anything.
Anything that's gone is 86.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to totally remember that from my Pesach kitchen. Okay, right. Cool.
So a usual restaurant, you don't want to keep like crazy amounts of each item. It means you probably have it in a freezer and you're warming it up. A normal restaurant that has fresh food for each item, you will run out on certain nights. If a certain item gets hit, duck dumplings, whatever it is, you're always going to have, if you're making everything fresh every day, you're always going to have times where you're going to run out of certain items by certain point in the night.
Okay, cool. It's nice. I think that's great that, you've got big hits. Okay, what's the biggest hit? What surprised you the most?
What surprised me the most? Response of the gnocchi dish.
Oh, cool. Did I have that? I can't remember.
Yes, you did.
Okay. We probably had everything. What was in it? What was the big surprise?
The response of the texture of the potato gnocchi.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Too fluffy.
Too fluffy.
Too fluffy.
That wasn't good? And people like that or didn't like it?
Didn't like it.
What? We love gnocchi. We can't not imagine anything going wrong with gnocchi. Not wrong, but like not liking. Fluffy is good though, no?
Fluffy, yes, is good.
Because they're not used to it in kosher. Probably, am I right? Chaim Silverberg from Trippin' Kosher in the house. Hello, Chaim. How are you? Yeah, you can talk.
No, Jews are used to shlichkas.
There's a microphone.
Jews, I think the Orthodox crowd is learning what a fluffy gnocchi should be, air light, fluffy. But our tradition of gnocchi is a shlichka, so that's our reference point, and you just got to work your way through it. So the first 2 years, it's a little firm, and then you lighten up, and then you lighten up. It's
Till we get it right.
It's the training.
Right. So people are used to a little bit more gummy. Maybe certain ones are taken out of the freezer.
Oh, that's so sad.
He's using like his great grandmother's recipe, that they've been making. So,
okay, guys, I need everyone to go back to Wall Street and just eat the gnocchi how it's supposed to be. I was at a restaurant once and they asked me how I wanted my steak, and I said to the waiter how the chef thinks I should eat it. The waiter nearly cried because no Jew ever said that before. Not overdone, and it came out like it was lamb. It was actually like purplish because it was very rare. Let's call it that. And when it came out, I thought, oh, what did I say? That should not have done that. I should not have said that. And it was magnificent. It was 4 years later, one of the most memorable meals. So I want to eat the food that you have a vision for me. And that's what I think everyone needs to do is take trust in the chef. He's done the schooling. He knows what he's doing. He's got a great restaurant, and he's bringing you great food. Especially come to Wall Street, you know there's been time investment, money investment, food investment, you know, so open up your mind. Okay. Anything you want to share with us about the restaurant that we all need to know?
No, it's nice to get up in the morning and say, I'm going to work today. I work with Stephen, Enos, and Tariq. It's nice to come to work and say, I'm going to work. A lot of people get up in the morning and say, oh, man, I got to go to work today. It's fun to go to work at Wall Street Grill. It's a challenge. It's nice that it's a challenge because it pushes you every day to strive to be better. What did I do good today that I'm going to do great tomorrow? What did I do great tomorrow that I'm going to do amazing? It pushes you every day. That's what I enjoy about it.
Okay, it's so exciting to hear you talk like this. And really, I can hear the excitement through the food. And Stephen, you've done an amazing job. Your whole team, you and Shalom and whoever else has been involved. I don't know everyone, but it's been absolutely an incredible journey for you guys. It sounds like you've come together to bring New York really incredible food, and we look forward to many, many meals there. Follow them on Instagram. You can website.
WallStreetGrill.com.
WallStreetGrill.com. There you go. Make your reservations. If you want to win a dinner for two, let us know. There will be some restrictions apply, all that kind of stuff. But win it first, and then we'll talk. But yeah, we're super excited to have you guys come down, and I look forward to coming back. Have a great Yontif season. We've got Yontif is right there in the middle, so you're going to catch a bit of a break this year.
We're actually open for Rosh Hashanah meal for the first
What?
time.
Oh, wait. Let's just... Great. Say that. Give me all that.
Yeah,
you can't leave that out.
In conjunction with Chabad of Wall Street, we're going to be hosting the first night Rosh Hashanah dinner at Wall Street Grill.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. So you're not off yet.
No.
You get some time off after that. Okay, we've got a lot of Yontifs. And you've got... Sukkot is going to be intense, but you've got your days off, so...
Right.
Okay, incredible. All right, so we're going to look forward to seeing great stuff from the Chagim, Yontif, and the fall season coming up. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, no worries. We're so excited to have the guys from Wall Street Grill. I was supposed to say Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Grill in the house today. It was just an amazing meal. I'm you can see today, I'm very uppity because I'm so excited to be back here, and I'm my brain is literally working faster than my mouth today. In the house right now, we have Chaim Silverberg. Chaim, how's it going? We're going to switch. Yeah. You guys can stick around because I want you guys to talk to each other.
Ask them who ate at their place last night. I don't know.
Who ate at your place last night?
I think these guys.
Oh, wait. I was hoping I would be the one to introduce you guys, but you've already caught on to that.
Girl, we are way ahead of you.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Right? It's fabulous.
It's one of the most beautiful settings to eat in the city kosher fine dining.
We ate there on a hot night, and we loved every second of it. I can't wait to go back in the fall.
They also need to be commended because their team is really the MVPs of I don't know, 2,000 fine dining kosher, in the United States. They set the trend. You got Tariq. Who doesn't know Tariq? You know what I mean? If you don't know Tariq, you haven't eaten out in the past 15 years kosher.
Tariq.
22 maybe.
Tell them who Tariq is.
One of your managers. Tariq is a... So even better. Tariq's a partner.
Even a partner.
And lovely lady who I don't remember her name. She's also been around for a bajillion years. These are people who have been...
And Michael. Was Michael there?
Yeah, Michael.
Michael
didn't work in Prime Grill before, but I knew him from other kosher.
Michael was here in the studio a few weeks ago, at the beginning of when he was on with David Kolotkin. I had them on the show.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so it was great.
Another MVP.
Another MVP. Okay,
I'm moving over.
Hello, look who else is here. We've got the guys from Chip and Kosher.
We did. We enjoyed ourselves.
All right.
Ask them later who we are.
If you can stick around, great. Don't forget, we've got the giveaway. You've got to follow Wall Street Grill while we shuffle seats. Wall Street Grill, Nachum Siegel Network, or email me, Naomi Nachum Siegel, and I'll put you in. Guys, if you can, stick around. Okay. Do we have everyone's names in? Did you... Chaim Silverberg.
C.W. Silverberg.
C.W.
Well, the character I play is C.W.
C-Dub. C-Dub. I'm so American
right.
now.
Yeah, well,
we have Jad.
Hey.
You've lived in the States almost, for a long time.
Like 30 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I was at the farmer's market today and someone goes, "Oh, how do you like New York? I hear you're Aussie from Australia." And I'm like, I'm here for 30 years. I'm more American than I am Australian.
You're not just more American. You're like, what, Lower East Side officially?
I'm Lower East Side. I'm from here, the Lower East Side.
Like, for real. You grew up
For
right
real.
around this building probably somewhere.
Yeah, my formative young adult years were from here, the Lower East Side, and I love living here, and I love Manhattan, and I had a great morning this morning.
Where you got into all that trouble. I heard about it.
Yeah, buying apples and cake. And there's a kosher
But why-
bakery. Did you guys know there's a kosher bakery at the farmer's market?
Ooh.
It's amazing. Amazing, amazing. Did you know?
Well, let's plug that a little bit so I can learn more.
Okay, so great. All right, guys. How are you? Trippin' Kosher's back in the house.
Well, back in the house. We did a cute little run once, but this is really the
did
first
it.
time.
You weren't with us. We did it at the Jewish Food Media Conference last year.
We kind of crashed it, ran a VIP party,
Right,
threw
but
everybody
we
off
had
their
Judd.
game.
But Judd was here. We had a food truck show.
Yeah.
Were you here for the Judd? We did the.
We brought the truck down there. We don't have it anymore. I know it's just a restaurant, but we.
No,
we
you're just a
brought
restaurant.
So how about we do an intro about who we are? I'll intro Judd because we don't really let him talk.
Okay, so Chaim's just gonna take over my show now.
Yeah.
He's my co-host.
I'm
for the last 10
I've been
minutes.
gunning for co-host for a long time.
Yeah,
I think we'd be fun at that.
Chaim's been hacking me to come on the show in the studio because Nachum's very iconic and, you'll explain Tripping Kosher, but he's been wanting to come on. We finally got this together. Okay.
We're just two guys who spent a lot of time in the background of the kosher industry. Judd a little bit more in the front, but I had my own catering companies, meat companies, some food companies.
Didn't you teach
I didn't teach
Ari
anybody.
White lamb
No.
bacon?
Ari
He
White
did,
is
he did.
Ari.
He
No,
did.
Ari White
He's
is
not-
as
he doesn't.
accomplished as he is on
He
his own.
is amazing. We love Ari. We
On
are
his
big
own.
fans. He's
Do you
been here
want to know
many
what
times.
I offered critique, which was all it was.
You taught him lamb
certain
bacon.
critiques. No, I didn't. I said, "Oh, this lamb bacon." No, he's great. He's great. I'm joking. We offered him critique and we said, "Fix it this way. Fix it this way."
And he credits you for teaching him lamb bacon.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. But there were a lot more people. I didn't invent lamb bacon. We just sold it we set the trend on the East Coast farmers markets, northern, Eastern seaboard.
Todd probably, right?
All right, so we're kicking it with Naomi Nachman. I'm CW. I'm just a Midwest guy. This is Judd. He's from Memphis. So we're not traditional New York Jews. And we grew up with
None
a
of us
different.
are here.
No.
None of us, yeah.
None of us.
We're all just a little bit different. and we did not grow up with that traditional access to like kosher restauranting. And most of our friends didn't keep kosher growing up. So we grew up with a different perspective. And we've seen this growth in media and kosher, and it's been exciting to see this idea that there are so many different ways to learn about kosher foods and kosher products and how people go about it. But we saw that there was something missing. There was a space where you're talking television quality production approach with the true storyline, just to tell the story. So we got together a couple years ago. We found this Uber producer from the History Channel, NY school graduate. He's a cool guy. Uber producer Tzvika, thank you. But that's all we need to mention him. And I found Judd. Judd is one of those guys that I should have known for a bajillion years, and somehow it took me way too long to meet him.
I think Yost Schwartz put us together, actually.
Who did?
Yost Schwartz, Chef Yost, was
Oh,
like...
a shout out to you. I'm going to see him next week in Miami. Super
good,
excited.
Good. Hang out with him, have a good time.
He's awesome.
Shout out to Chef Yost, because, without him, I would have never found my tripping kosher life partner, Judd.
Aww.
Tripping kosher. So we decided, why don't we take a television production standpoint. We found a producer. I actually paid him to follow me for 2 days to see if it was worth it, and that's what turned into our first videos. I got him hooked after 5 minutes. You will too if
Chaim
find
is-
tripping kosher.
Chaim is quite the character.
First of all, I think I have to mention that the producer told me I'd get ice cream if I could sit here quietly for 25 minutes. So I'm getting ice cream later. Yeah, that was very hard. But this is a fun place to be. I've never done this before, so thank you for giving us a chance to really talk about it.
Yeah.
But-
We're happy to have you.
So we spent the past 2 years just trying to tell the story of why kosher restauranting, let's say in Minneapolis, why a burger place in Minneapolis would have as much of an important impact as a kosher place anywhere else, specifically on the East Coast when there's a billion of them. Because if you're that one kosher burger place in Minneapolis, you're now a destination restaurant. So we're just going to go there. We're not going to review. we're just going to go there and
have
just
fun.
tell the story. So we've been floating this on our own dime. We've been bootstrapping for 2 years. We cover all costs because we feel that we need to be an example for, I think, what's going to be the next step in kosher media. You're going to see streaming platforms, stuff like that, and that's really what we've been gearing for.
We have our own streaming platform right here on YouTube, the Nachum Siegel Net on YouTube. This show is actually being streamed.
Exactly, and you know what? Without all the hard work that you've put in, Naomi
ZK,
Nachman
and
DK,
ZK.
well, Nachum Siegel, straight
Of
up.
course, straight up Nachum.
Every form of media follows a previous format. You guys have been rocking this for 37 years. That's important. That's why we would come here and do a story about that. We just want to tell the stories. And over the course of 2 years, we've been to every kosher keeping community in the United States, a little bit outside, but that's for the future.
You've got to come to Australia.
We will. Yes. Every kosher keeping community in the United States with at least four kosher restaurants. And we don't go in to do reviews. We fly in, we pay for all our food, we come in because we think that these are great stories that people are going to want to watch. And we've been doing it for 2 years, and 100,000 people a week are watching. So
That's
people
amazing.
are loving.
100,000.
Yeah, we're reaching
100,000 people a week. That's insane. I love it.
We love it, and we want more people to catch on because secretly, while we've been filming this one show, all right, big announcement on your first show of the season.
Oh, we've had a lot of announcements on this trip. A lot of firsts here. Okay.
A lot of firsts.
Okay.
While we've been filming Tripping Kosher, which has been an adventure of a lifetime, and we want to thank everybody who's involved and allowing us to do this, and everybody who's been watching. We are actually, we've also been filming a couple other shows and a series of documentary shorts that will appear in different formats, perhaps some in festivals. We've been producing a lot. And in the next couple months, as everything kind of falls together, we're really going to launch. Tripping Kosher was just kind of our entry to see proof of concept, who watches, how they watch. And we're going to launch pretty much a whole network. A lot of different shows, a lot of different fun things. And I think it's really appropriate, and I thank you for allowing us to come to your show, which is fairly iconic in its own right, and be able to announce that.
We're excited to see what you've got going on.
Well, for all those that are interested, if you just kind of Google Tripping Kosher, you'll find all sorts of different places that you can watch and click and link and like.
Okay, let me talk to you.
Yeah, I'm here for you. I'm done. It's all your turn. It's your turn. No, you get to talk.
No, I have questions.
I'll give you a chance.
I have so many questions. Where have you been in this world, in this country? That's the craziest place.
So it's not.
Because New York is great. We know we have tons of restaurants. What's the craziest place you've gone to?
Yeah, you got a place, or do you want me to talk? Judd isn't allowed to talk. If you watch the shows, we edit him out.
By the way, Judd, can I just say, Judd is amazing, and he has a restaurant in the Five Towns called
Judd's Memphis
We're
Kitchen.
We're not here.
And he has the $100 burger. I'm just shouting that out, okay?
Quick shout out. It's about Tripping Kosher.
It's about Tripping Kosher. We'll have you back and we'll talk.
course.
We'll eat burgers.
Oh,
Maybe we'll do a show from the restaurant.
Anytime.
Okay, good. And your restaurant. We have big plans for you guys. Okay, go. Craziest place. Go.
It's not craziest place. We've really enjoyed every single
Of
trip
course
we've gotten
you
to
enjoy
take.
it.
2 weeks ago, we were in Sitka, Alaska, filming something.
cool.
Not food related.
Oh,
We were there
okay.
for a couple days. We have a documentary short coming out about it, and whatever.
I love Alaska. I've been there twice. I've done 2 events for the Chabad there. It's amazing.
In Anchorage?
In Anchorage.
Oh,
And then
well,
We were in
there's no
Sitka.
Jews in
It's
Sitka.
crazy.
Well, there's one.
Yeah.
this one.
There's one. He might be the top.
One religious
Whatever.
Jew in
We'll
Sitka.
talk about it later.
Religious.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, talk to me about but I want to have a crazy food place. The most
crazy,
unusual find that you
unusual?
found.
Well,
No.
I love finding off the beaten path.
in Scottsdale, Arizona,
Okay.
inside the JCC, there is a place. What's it called? Milk Espresso and something bar. Is that what it's
Something.
called?
Well, if you
It's
Google
called-
Tripping Kosher, Arizona,
It is-
Scottsdale, you might
It
find
is.
it.
First of all, the JCC is one of the most gorgeous JCCs in the country, but
Wow.
it is a French. Like milchik bistro that's
a
like
milchik
just
French
so
bistro,
it
the
is it's on par with
JCC
any
should be a
milchik
model.
place in New York City. Anything
It should be a model.
Really?
It should be a model for like any sort
in
of
Arizona?
in Scottsdale or
Well-
in a JCC.
I was there.
Yeah, it's
It's so funny. Okay, guys, this is such an amazing show, and season 8 is kicking off. We're doing season 8 in 2 parts. Today, part 1 is airing, and we're doing another series, another episode. Part 2 is going to air next week of this interview. So stick around. I just want to sign off for this week's show, and we're going to continue with part 2 airing next week. So this is Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Siegel Network. I want to wish everybody a good Shabbos. We have music sponsored by our friends at Kedem right up until Lichtbenching. It's been an amazing show. Remember to sign up for Birthright. Sign up for the Wall Street Grill. Go buy Adina's book. It's amazing. It's been a wonderful week. I can't wait to continue season 8 with you and this interview. Good Shabbos, everybody.